Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lo, and thank you so much for clicking on a brand new story time. Okay, listen y'all, I know it seemed like every time I get on here I got an excuse for why I'm a little late, but let me tell y'all what happened to me before I get into the video. Hold on, just give me a second to ramble just a little bit. Y'all, for those of you who don't know, I live in Florida, right? That should be enough said. I live in Florida. Y'all, why our AC went out? Our whole air conditioning went out for 3 days before these people came and fixed our AC. So the day that I originally had set aside to record for y'all, it was hot as hell in this house. Like, I'm not even gonna get into all that, but just know it was a lot. Like, the AC went out and then we had to go out of town. And I know. Don't chew me up in the comments. Don't do too much. I'm sorry, because I'm here now. And I'm gonna record this video. I'm gonna edit it today and put it out for y'all. So everything's gonna happen today. No more wasting time, whatever. So you clicked on it. Y'all, I be forgetting that I have to take my glasses off because it is green light. I really cannot see without my glasses though. I'm sorry. So you read the title. You already know we're going to be talking about. Before we get into the story, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your bell notifications, leave a comment if you're feeling cute, and we're going to get right into the story time. Let's go. Y'all, I'm sitting here editing this video and I'm noticing on my ring light, like, something is going on with the bottom of my face. Like, I don't think I'm ashy, but I don't know what it is. Like, it's just giving like a patch of my skin. Something is happening. Please don't do too much in the comments. I know, like, if I could go back and re-record this whole video, I would, but this is almost 40 minutes worth of footage, so please excuse me. Like, it's eating me up. Like, just, I'm sorry. Like, it's bothering me. I don't know if that's gonna bother y'all if I'm just thinking too much into it, but I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So y'all, this was about a time where I befriended a girl who was basically a snake. Like, I don't know if y'all are subscribed to K Shine's channel. If you are not, please go subscribe to my girl. That's my bestie in my head. I love her. I'm part of her membership, all of that. And she did a story time the other week about basically like girls doing too much, you know, around guys to impress guys, like fake friends. Like, I can't remember exactly what she titled it, but basically it was like these girls, like, one of her friends had got another one of her friends like drunk on purpose to make her look stupid in front of these guys. Like, and that had really just made me think about this one time a few years ago when I worked at this store. For the video, we're gonna name this girl, let's name her Lily. I don't think I ever used that name before. It kind of sounded like her real name. I should use her real name, but let's call her Lily. So it's too early to be drinking wine. The answer is no. It's never too early. I'm just kidding. I'm not an alcoholic, I swear. So anyways, okay, so I'm too ahead of myself. So I started working at this store. Should I say the name of the store? I started working at this store called Jimmy Jazz. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a sneaker store, you would like say. Yeah, it's a sneaker store, but they also sell clothes too. So I started working there, and it was like a really small staff when I started working there. It was probably only like 8 to 10 of us, and nobody had been hired for the position that I had been hired for like in a really long time, because the girl was there before me for a really long time. So I was the new girl. I started working there. Everybody's just trying to feel my temperature, see what type of person I am, all of that. I'm cool. I'm cool. I can handle it. So this one girl in particular, she was a little bit younger than me, and her name was Lily. And you know how, like, when you working in retail, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but when you working in retail, it be people that you be work besties with that you would never be friends with, like, in real life. Like, one of my old jobs, I was like work besties with like a 55-year-old or 65-year-old. She was really old, and I'm like, she's old enough to be my Nima, and this is my girl. Like, it's just really weird working in retail. Like, it be so many different people with different walks of life, different ages, different backgrounds, like all of that. And I just think it's cool how like you could just click with somebody because of work, and like you wouldn't even be hanging out with this person if it wasn't for your job. Anyways, so I say that to say, because me and Lily were completely opposite. Like, we didn't have none of the same interests. We didn't like none of the same music. We didn't like the same food. Like, I don't know, but that was my girl. Like, we became really close really fast working at this job, to the point where like I had like got her number. We would like text outside of work. We had always like scheduled up our shifts together. Like, we were seeing each other very often. Like, we would take our breaks together. We would go to the food court. Like, I don't really recommend befriending people. Like, I mean, like, it's cool to be friendly and have like a work bestie, but like I don't recommend hanging out with people that you work with outside of work, because that's when lines can get blurred and like stuff like this can happen. So that's my advice. Like, if you're just like a social butterfly and you can, you know, handle the work-life balance, and you want to be friends with people that you work with, more power to you. Me, I can't do that. I learned a lot from this specific situation. So like I said, me and Lily, we're getting really close. Like, she's telling me all her business, and I'm the type of person, like, I love when people feel comfortable enough telling me, like, you trust me enough to tell me the things that you're going through. But it takes me like a little bit more time to open up to you. Like, I'm not gonna feel comfortable telling you my business just because you feel comfortable telling me yours. You feel me? So she was just opening up to me about like all of her past trauma and her breakups and her heartbreak and like all of this different stuff. And I was like an active listener. I was empathetic towards her. Like, I really thought we were friends, y'all. Like, that's why this is just so crazy. So also, Lily was the type, I'm not gonna say she was promiscuous, but she was. Like, you know how people say birds of a feather flock together, or like, oh well, your homegirl a hoe, so what that make you? That makes me the homegirl of a hoe. Like, I'm not a hoe just because Lily is a hoe. You feel like, I'm sorry, like, that was my girl, but like she okay, let me tell you why I say this. So working at Jimmy Jazz, it was basically like we worked on commission. Like, I worked on commission before I got promoted, but we worked on commission. So we would like, I mean, like, I would like for real flirt with the nigga to run him out his pockets for real. Like, I'm just telling you how it was for real. Like, I would never like take it further than like a friendly flirt to get you to spend a check so that could put money in my pocket. But Lily would get their numbers. She would link with these guys. She would go home with them, like all of this different stuff. And I was just like, first of all, that's hella unsafe. Number one, because you don't know these men. And two, like, babe, relax. Like, she would take it there with all of these different niggas. Like, I'm talking about like, one time this guy she had met like an hour ago got his number, and he was like, what time you get off, whoop de whoop whoop. And a few minutes later she was like, yeah, he gonna come back and pick me up, and I'm gonna go to his house tonight. Just met him, don't know this man from a can of paint. He could have gave you a fake name. Like, you do not know him. And I mean, granted, he did seem like kind of cool when he was in the store, but I don't know this man. He could be putting on the front. Like, and I would just always tell her, like, I don't know, like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, are you sure you want to do that? You could do what you want. Hell, I'm not your mama, but I wouldn't feel like I'm being a good friend if I didn't at least tell you, like, I don't think that's a good idea. You feel me? So, Lily did what she wanted to do, and that was just that. So, the guy comes and picks her up. They do what they do. Use your imagination. And that's what it was. And she would do this with multiple guys. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, it wasn't just like a one-time thing. Like, she would literally do this with multiple guys. And I was just like, I don't know, like, that's my girl though. Like, that's my girl. Like, she made me laugh. Like, she was hella funny. Like, I feel like we could just talk about anything like for hours. It was just like I didn't agree with this certain part of her life. So I don't know, I just kept letting shit slide. Like, I didn't really like think of this as like a red flag or anything until one night we both closed, and she was like, hey, there's this party tonight, we should go. It's like a party kickback, whatever, and one of the guys that I met at the store is having it at his house. And I'm just like, I don't know, because I immediately knew I'm not finna give no guy at this party no play. I'm dubbing, I'm curbing everything. Like, I'm not interested. I wasn't looking. Like, this was around the time like me and Devin had just started like talking. Like, we weren't in a relationship or anything or dating at this point, but he had my interest, and like in my head that was my boyfriend already. So I'm like, why would I go to this party and cheat on my boyfriend? Like, no, I'm not doing it, Lily. I'm sorry. Like, and she knew that I had started talking to Devin or whatever, and I would always like talk to her about him, and like how I just thought he was so cute and da 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 blah blah blah. So I'm just like, why would you, as my friend, want me to go cheat on my boy? Let me stop calling my boyfriend. But I'm just like, and she was just like, please just go with me. Like, this is gonna be like my first time hanging out with this guy. Red flag on the play. She's like, this is gonna be my first time hanging out with him. She had brought a spend the night bag to work. So this was pre-planned. Like, this is not just like some plans that came about while you was at work and he texted you like, slide to the crib after you get off. Like, we having a get together. You knew about this beforehand, before clocking in, because you brought a bag with you to go to this guy's house. And a part of me was like, I really do not want to go, but the other part of me was like, you know, I at least want to make sure that she gets there safe, because this is her first time hanging out with this guy. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll just stay for a little while. Like, I don't have to do anything. I'm gonna just make sure she get there safe, get in the house safe, stay for maybe like 10-15 minutes, and then I'm gonna dip. Right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stay long. I'm telling her I'm not staying long. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing none of that, because my job from my mom's house was like 20-30 minutes. So I'm definitely not drinking, and none of that is going on. Like, it's just not that type of party. I was still in my work clothes. Like, that's how much I really just did not care. Like, I didn't put no thought into how I look. Like, granted, like like, we didn't have like uniforms or whatever. It was just like a black shirt and like some skinny jeans, but I didn't put no effort into like retouching my hair, doing my makeup, like nothing. I didn't care, because again, I'm not here for that. It's not that type of party for me. It's not that type of time for me. I have a boyfriend. Stop playing, Lily. So we get to the house, and keep in mind, she keeps saying to me like, because I'm like iffy. Like, she knows I'm very iffy about it. Like, I'm on the fence about going. This is before I decided to like really go and like take her, whatever. She just kept saying like, oh, it's gonna be us and like other people. Don't think like it's just gonna be us and these niggas in the house. Like, us and these niggas, us and like a bunch of niggas. And like, if you had already beforehand advertised this to me as being a party or kickback or whatever she said, why would I think it was just gonna be us and these niggas? You feel me? Like, of course it's gonna be other females there, it's gonna be other niggas there. Like, it's a party. So I just thought that was like really weird that she kept like stressing that to me, like putting emphasis on that one part. Like, it's not gonna just be us and these niggas. So I'm just like, okay girl, like I never said that, I never thought that, but now another red flag is on the play. So we get there. It's this nice house. It's a really nice house, I will give him that. I don't know whose house it was now. It's a nice house that they at. So we get there, and while we walk in, and lo and behold, it's just us and these niggas. It's just us. It's me and Lily and 4 guys, including the dude that she was talking to. Y'all, I should have just, okay, you in here, you trust this guy enough, you bought your little spend the night bag, you do what you do, and I'm out. No, y'all, I did not leave. I did not leave. So I'm like just very uneasy about it. Like, something in my stomach was just like, my stomach was bubbling. Like, that was my intuition telling me I need to go. But I went against my better judgment, and I went inside and
oh yeah, we having a couple people over, you know, it's still kind of early.
keep in mind it was like 10:30, something like that. Like it was not early, like 8 o'clock. It was like upwards of like almost 11 p.m. So I'm just like, and granted, you know, people might show up to the kickback late. Like nobody wants to get there like right when it started, but I don't know what time it started. But it was kind of late, so I'm just like, okay. So they like, all right, y'all, it's shot o'clock, and I'm immediately no. No, thank you. Immediately, no. I have to drive back to my mom's house. I'm not trying to take no shots. And they're just very persistent on trying to get me to drink. Like, you being lame. Like, Again, I'm very uncomfortable. I don't know these guys. Y'all keep trying to get me to drink. I'm telling you, no. One of the guys had expressed interest in me. Like, I never seen you around him before, because I guess he's seen me at work, but like I never seen him before, so like I don't know, that was kind of creepy. But he was just like, you must not be from here, like girls who look like you usually don't live around here, like you must be new to town, like whoop de whoop de whoop, like I'm trying to take care of you, I'm trying to be your man. And I'm like, I'm not interested, like I'm flattered but I'm not interested. He's just a very, very persistent, like, oh, you got a nigga, I can take you from your nigga. First of all, no, you cannot. Sir, back up. Your breath is kind of stink. You're doing too much. Like, so between that, them trying to get me to drink, like pressure me into drinking, it not being no other people here, it was just like, I should have really just left. Y'all, I should have just left. So this is where the story takes a turn for the worse. Let me point this out again. I never met these niggas a day in my life. Don't know nobody name. Never been to this house. At this point, I don't have no type of protection on me. No mace. I don't got the blicky. I don't have nothing on me. No knife. No nothing. So, hold on. Let me take a drink, cause. So at this point, Lily is drinking, and I'm telling her, y'all, like I'm telling her, like I'm really like not that comfortable, like are you sure you want to stay? And she's on some shit like,
girl, you're tripping, like we here to have a good time, like maybe you do need a shot or two, like.
And I'm kind of taken aback, like, first of all, bitch, I told you I'm not drinking. What you mean I'm tripping? I'm tripping because I'm telling you I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm like, wow, I really thought this bitch was my friend. Like, I'm telling her this before this shit happened, before I tell y'all this next part. I'm telling her I'm uncomfortable. I had told her like at least a couple times. So she's like drinking and listening to music and twerking. She's twerking in front of these niggas. Like, I'm telling her I'm uncomfortable. She pushing me off to the side. She's being very dismissive about my feelings. And next thing you know, she's like, I'm finna go upstairs. Like, she's telling me, like, on the side, like, on the seat, like, I'm finna go upstairs and I'm finna fuck this nigga. And I'm like, you really gonna leave me down here with these guys that I don't know? It's 3 guys that I don't know. You finna leave me? She's like, I'm gonna be right back. She left me downstairs with these guys. And, like, to me, if you was really my friend, like how you said you was my friend, like if you really fuck with me how you said you fuck with me, you would not put me in no situation like this, because certain things that I have gone through, like in my past, like before moving to Florida, like very traumatic things have happened to me, and I just don't feel like that was a situation. Granted, she didn't know, but like even if she knew, didn't know, whatever, like that's just common decency. Like if me, your friend, is telling you I'm uncomfortable and you just leave me with these guys, like I just felt like, wow, this bitch really do not care about me. She's not my friend, and I need to start planning my escape route. So I'm just sitting on the couch. I'm sitting, like they have like 2 couches, like a long one and then like a little love seat one, like across from me. I'm sitting on the left seat and I'm just like on my phone. I don't remember if I'm telling Devin what's going on. Like I really don't remember, because this was like fresh when we first started talking, like 2nd, 3rd day type shit. So I just remember one of the guys, the guy who was, you know, being very pushy about wanting to take me from my boyfriend, came and sat by me, and he like did one of these, like put his arm around me. He's like, why you acting so standoffish, like you being shy, like I don't understand why you being so shy. And it's so funny, that I say this because my shirt says I'm not shy, I just don't like you. But anyways, so I'm just like, I'm not being shy. Like I'm really about to go home. Like I've had a really long day. I worked for a long time. Excuse me. I worked for a really long time. I'm tired. Like I have like kind of a far drive to go back in. He's like,
no, like just take a couple shots, please. Like this, we're supposed to be having fun. Like you not having fun. I feel like you ruining the vibe. Like,
how am I ruining your vibe? Again, no, I'm not drinking. So he's like, well, you don't have to go home tonight. Like you could just sleep down here. And then one of the guys is like,
yeah, nobody gonna do nothing to you.
Y'all, the way I just never said any of this stuff, I never insinuated any of this stuff. Like I didn't tell them I was uncomfortable. This was all stuff I was telling Lily, and I wasn't even telling her like I think these niggas is on that type of time. Like I'm not gonna say the word, but you know, that type of time. I'm not saying that to nobody. So it's just the fact that like I almost feel like your guilty conscience is like eating you up, because you feel like I think that you're on that type of time, and I never said that, communicated that, hinted at that, nothing. So another fucking red flag on the play. Like I'm just like, you know what, I'm about to go sit in my car and call my boyfriend, and if Lily wants me to take her home, like after she's done with your friend or whatever, that'll just be that. But I'm gonna go sit in my car, because y'all, I have general anxiety disorder, and I know when I'm having an anxiety attack. I low-key thought I was having a panic attack just because like the way my chest was feeling and all of that, but I knew it was an anxiety attack. And when I'm having an attack, I need like immediate like cool air. Like my body gets really hot, I start sweating, and when I realize that I'm sweating and I put knowledge on the fact that I'm getting hot, it like starts happening even more. So like my palms started sweating, the back of my neck was hot, my ears were hot, my forehead was hot, like everything was just very hot, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like my throat felt like it was swelling. Like I was just very uncomfortable. Like I'm almost on the verge of tears, because I just feel like back then, like I didn't really have like a voice to speak up. Like I would say I'm gonna do something in my head, but then be too scared to do it. Like I would say I'm gonna get up and go to the door and walk outside, because like I'm grown and you can't hold me against my will. Like I don't have to stay here if I don't want to. But then I would just be like, I don't want to look lame, like I don't want to do this, I want to do that. So I was so uncomfortable. Like all of that went out the window, and I was just like, I'm gonna go sit outside in my car and wait for Lily, and if she just wants to stay, then I'm just gonna go home. Why this nigga, the nigga who was sitting next to me, who put his arm around me, he stands in front of the doorway like, why you leaving? Like stop being lame. He tried to like grab my arm. I'm like, I'm very uncomfortable right now, and I'm going to my car. Don't do too much, because it's nothing for me to call 911. Like I'm saying this to his face, very stern, very adamant. Don't touch me. Don't try to block me from leaving your house. Like I feel like it's giving, like I don't want to like I just feel like it's giving that. Like please use your imagination. Like I feel like it's giving like you're trying to do something to me, and I don't like that. I don't like feeling like that. Like I don't like that. So I'm saying this, like I'm raising my voice, and he goes like this, like whoa, like whoa, and like steps to the side. I didn't even like look back. I didn't check back. I didn't do nothing. Like I'm on my way to my car. I'm texting Lily. Like I get in my car, I lock my doors. I hit the lock button like 5 times, like just to make sure. And I wasn't like in the driveway like of their house, because like I don't know, like I just don't like pulling in people's driveways that I don't know. So I'm like parked in front of the driveway. So I get in my car, I blast that AC, I turn the AC all the way up into the lowest temp. Like I'm shaking. Like so I'm texting Lily like I just went to my car, like can't you hurry up? Like, what are you doing? Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna leave? I told you I was uncomfortable. Like, I can't believe you left me down there. Like, I'm blowing her shit up. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna give her like 10 minutes, and if she don't respond, don't call me back, because I called her a couple of times, didn't answer. She don't call me back, don't text me back, I'm gonna leave. 10 minutes passed. I gave it an extra 5 minutes. Called her again, no answer. So I left. And somebody could be like, you should have just waited for her, but like, I feel like she didn't care about my well-being. She didn't know what them guys could have did to me. She didn't know what could have happened. Like, she just left me, bro. Like, she just left me, and I would have never done that to somebody that I considered my friend. Like, I just would have never, ever, ever done that. So I left, and y'all, I really waited like until probably like 2 something in the morning for her to call me back, text me back, nothing. When I tell you, Lily never said anything to me. She didn't say anything to me. And if I'm in the wrong about something, it's nothing for me to apologize. Like, it's literally nothing for me to put my pride aside. I could be the bigger person. I could pull you aside. I could tell you I'm wrong for what I did. I apologize for hurting your feelings. It's nothing for me to do that. But in this exact situation, I didn't feel like I needed to apologize to her. I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. You compromised my safety. You dismissed my feelings. Like, you being my friend, you would have never ever done that to me. Y'all, after this happened, keep in mind, I told y'all, me and Lily was always working together. We was always together. Like, all of our shifts was always together. She also had another job, so I don't know if this was like a coincidence or just a direct effect of like what had happened. But Lily, I did not hear from Lily, and she was supposed to work with me like not the next day, but the day after that. She didn't come to work. She was a no call, no show. Still have not heard anything from her. All the people at work asking me, like, my manager's like, where's Lily? Like, where's Lily? Have you heard from Lily? Because they know we was like this. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't think like she's talking to me right now. I'm explaining to them the situation. They're like, that's really foul. Like, that's really, really messed up. I'm so sorry that happened. Like, yeah, that, like, I wouldn't even hold you if you didn't want to be friends with her. And I still wanted to hear her out if she did want to explain what happened and why she treated me that way. And maybe we can work on our friendship and I can just set boundaries from now on. But it's the fact that I was even still considering being your friend after you did some shit like that. Like, that's the type of person that I was back then. So, y'all, I didn't see Lily for like a week after that. Like, she had a couple shifts she didn't show up to, and they told her like, listen, if you don't come to this next shift, like, you're gone. Like, I done wrote you up. You done got in trouble if you don't come to this third scheduled shift, because she had missed 2 in a row. If you don't come to this third scheduled shift, don't even come back no more. Like, that's what my manager was telling her. So she came. Y'all, Lily did not say not one word to me our whole entire shift together. Like, she would avoid me. I was ringing up a customer. Like, normally she would, like, you know, tidy up the area next to the register so we could talk. She would be on the other end of the store. If she was ringing somebody up and I was near, she wouldn't like talk to me. She wouldn't look at me. Like, it was like nothing. And I was just like, wow, it's really, really crazy what females would do for niggas. Like, it's really, really crazy. Like, I don't know if like she was trying to impress these guys. Like, I don't know like what her intentions were, what her motives were, but I know one thing for sure, she was not my friend. So I was just like, dang. And that just really like made me see like you cannot be friends with people that you work with for real. Like, it's never gonna work. At least in my experience, like, it's not cool to blur those lines and mix those relationships. Like, it's cool that we friendly at work, but that's where it starts and that's where it's gonna end, at work. When I clock in, when I clock out. We don't have to have no communication. We don't have to have each other's numbers. We don't have to hang out. We don't have to go out together, like nothing, because I don't really know what your intentions are for real. So y'all, that's not even the worst part of the story. So like I said, well, I don't know if I said this, but the mall that I worked at, it was really small, and like a lot of people knew a lot of people. It was by like a university, like all of that, like everybody. It was just like a very small town of people or whatever. So like I said, the one guy who's very persistent, did I say that earlier? Like, he saw me. Yeah, I think I said that. Like, he saw me, but I never saw him before that night or whatever. So he knew one of my assistant managers, right? So one day I come into work and he's like, hey Lauren, like, what happened with you and dang, should I give him a name? Let's call him Earl. I don't know. What happened with you and Earl? And I'm like, Earl? Who is Earl? Keep in mind, I never knew this guy's name. Like, I never cared to ask. Like, that's how just not interested I was in this whole ordeal. Like, I don't care to know your name because what I'm going to do with that information? I have a boyfriend. So he's like, what happened with you and Earl? And I'm like, Earl? Keep in mind, it's not Earl. His name's not Earl. He has like a very distinctive name. So I'm like, dang, I don't know nobody named Earl. His real name. I don't know nobody named Earl. I'm like, who is Earl? He like, you know Earl. So he gets describing how he looks, and he has like distinctive face tattoos. So immediately I knew exactly who he was talking about. I was like, what you mean? What happened with me and him? I don't know him like that. And then he's like,
Hey, yeah, he came in here. He said that you and Lily had pulled up to his homeboy house and you was curving him all night, and how Lily said that y'all was on a mission. And
if you don't know what a mission is, like a mission to, and you just wasn't with it, like you wasn't drinking or nothing. So I'm like, what? He like, yeah, he said you was curving him and he thought you know, you was trying to, why you ain't give my boy no play? What? What did you just say to me? I'm like shocked. I'm shocked. I'm like, well, let me be the one to tell you. I never was on that type of time. Number one, I have a boyfriend. Okay? I have a boyfriend. Number two. And number three, Lily never told me any of that. She just told me it was a party that night. I'm breaking him down. I'm breaking it down to him, the whole everything. After I get done telling him, he's like,
what? Yo, niggas are crazy. Niggas is wow. That's crazy. Like,
just, yeah, don't believe everything that you hear, because it's never given that. Ever. And how bold of him to think that he was finna get it. Boy, bye. Boy, please. So what do? Because at this point, I have not seen Lily talk to Lily, like, in a few days. Like, not a few days, like, y'all, this has been like a week or two. Like, she still has. So I take the liberty to text her, and I cussed her ass the fuck out. I'm like, how dare you ever put me in that type of situation? Number one, I was giving your bald-headed ass a chance to like breathe, take a step back, take some time, whatever, just to see if you was really gonna show me that you were my friend and apologize. And I find out that you telling niggas that I'm out here finna, just because you hop on random weenie every single week don't mean that that's the type of time that I'm on, bitch. Like, don't you ever in your motherfucking life speak on me like that ever again to nobody, or I'ma beat your ass. I'm like, how dare it? I'm like, wow, y'all. I don't know if I scared her, because I handed it to her. I gave it to that girl. Don't you ever in your life, like, I'm not even telling y'all all the stuff that I was saying. Don't you ever in your life play with my name like that, play with me like that, play on my top like that. Don't ever do it. Ever. I don't know if you had me confused with the next bitch, this bitch, that. I don't know. But don't play with me like that. Play with your mama. Hell, play with yourself. Don't play with me. It's never going to be that. So, I don't know if I scared her or what, but Lily just stopped coming to work. And she had another job in the mall, and I would go in that other store quite frequently, and I never saw her again after that. She never texted me back. I don't know if she blocked me because I had an iPhone, she had an Android. That should have been my number one red flag. you got an Android. I'm just kidding, y'all. If y'all got an Android, please don't take offense to that. I just be talking shit. It's fine. If you want an Android, rock out. But that just really made me think, like, number one, it's crazy what females would do to impress niggas who really don't give a damn about them. Like, please watch who you befriend, watch who you call your friend, watch who you spend your time with, watch who you give your energy to, watch who you tell your business to. Like, please just always be cautious of that, and just make wise decisions. Don't be like me. Like, I don't think that it's smart to be friends with people who you work with, but that's just me. If you do that and you never have issues, kudos to you, but that was just very wild. Like, you put me in that situation and then you told this man to tell his friends, like, we was crazy. You crazy girl. You crazy ass bitch. Like, yeah, y'all, that was about the time that this girl really did this for these guys, and then she ghosted me, basically. That was that. So, I don't know. If you made it to the end of this video and you like the content, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post bell notifications, leave a comment, all of that. And thank you so much for watching. I love y'all, and I will see you in my next story time. Bye, y'all.